broadcast of the international news, peace, health, and conflict. Today, we will address the following topics related to the global health crisis that affect us, and how the emergence of COVID-19 has affected the peace and conflict relations in the world. Has it helped to increase these situations in a positive or negative way? It is difficult to answer this question as in each of the conflict zones, the care, partnerships, and overall situation change according to the impact the virus has had in these zones. Moreover, it is not the same to analyze a global context than a local one. So we will analyze each case with our reporters to know from the hand of experts what have been those theories of international relations put into practice in this crisis, and how they have been achieved science in order to contain the spread of the virus. For example, many countries have chosen to isolate themselves internationally and close their borders, leaving in decline the internal political, social, and economic spheres. For that, our first reporter is Carolina Borges in the Middle East. Continue, please. Thank you, Diana, and good morning. In local terms, it shall be taken into account that the different alliances have been made at the regional level in the Middle East, with emphasis on mutual aid. For example, in the formulation of health networks where trade in medical supplies are the main access, natural resources, and food to support neighborhoods in order to protect the population and thus improve relations between both, based on the theory of liberalism, in order to generate cooperation in health and trade way in the current crisis of COVID. For example, Turkey and Iran, although engaged in regional conflicts on different sides, have used liberalism in conducting different diplomatic conversations, recognizing the importance and necessity of bilateral relations between the two neighboring countries in the current international situation, the spread of the coronavirus, and to address the trade sanctions that the United States has imposed above, thus strengthening the cultural and historical ties that the two possessed and jointly existing capabilities for cooperation in various topical spheres, political, economic, scientific, and health fields that will be identified and addressed by the two countries, for example, the vaccine coverage. Thank you, Carolina. Now, in a more global scope, although several countries have united and cooperated, others, on the contrary, with the aim of containing the spread of the virus in their territories, have opted for selfish strategies. However, with the appearance of vaccines, commercial, political, and economic relations have been freed a little, and it has been a hope to overcome the crisis caused by the pandemic. For example, there have been political exchange, new access of trade openness, exchange of medical information and development in this field, and supporting each other, that is the idea, which reflects the need for interdependence in certain resources and transactions of producer countries have with the consumers' countries. The vaccine production has been concentrated in certain pharmaceutical groups, which together with the difficulty of production of vaccine has led to a situation of global storage. However, other countries and other influential institutions have adopted different strategies to address this problem. Some countries have worked together with the pharmaceutical companies, investing huge amounts of money to exercise greater control in these companies, and close more advantageous and abundant deals, as is the case of the United States and the United Kingdom. In this case, it is evident the use of liberalism throughout the economic cooperation of countries with pharmaceutical companies, but increase the use of realism by trying to monopolize the entire production of vaccines without thinking about other countries, and then be a means of selling them, obtain a greater economy and benefits. This in order to obtain more power through an offensive realism, to maximize their power in a global environment, looking for and taking advantage of all the opportunities to have more and more power, to ensure their survival and shift the hegemony that is possible. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Mert. To conclude this note, it is interesting to evaluate the liberalist behavior that the European Union has had where it has decided to respond enjoyingly, proposing the search for the common good and equal accessibility among its members. On the other hand, for example, with international institutions, the World Health Organization has also launched several programs to try to solve this situation in a cooperative and equitable way at a global level. For example, through the COVAX strategy, which provides for equitable global access to a vaccine, and it is the only way to mitigate the impact of the pandemic on public health and also in the economy. For this reason, it is very important to understand what is the reason that these countries have to use these theories and how use these theories. And also, what is the impact that have in the survival of this theory, of this territory, and also the survival of their relations in a political context. Thank you so much.